Shalom. I'd like to start this lesson by saying Ka Halal Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakah Kadash. Double honors to the apostles of the great millstone and to the hopeful elect pushing his word in truth and sincerity across the four corners of the earth. This lesson is just we're going to talk about the mark of the beast and just show that these devils are pushing it out right now. Like, we're already here. I live in Canada, in Ontario. So people are like, oh, that's not happening in Canada. Like, it's happening everywhere, even here. So I'm just going to read Revelation 13, and we're going to start at... I was healed. Okay, Alright, so we can start at 12. Revelation 13 and 12. And he exerciseth all the power of the first beast before him, and caused the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast. So the first beast before him was the Roman Empire, right? And the one that's causing everyone to worship the first beast before him is this the beast system that we're in right now is this beast system, which is the American Empire, or the Babylonian Empire, you want to call it that, but the American Empire, right? They're causing everyone to worship the first beast, which was the Roman Empire, because everything is just all over again, everything, right? And caused the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. So deadly wound was the Roman Empire when it got taken down, so-called, well, they did get taken down for a bit, but their wound was healed, and they came back through the American Empire, right? So now they're healed. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from the heaven on the earth in the sight of men. Right, great wonders is like, for example, this whole COVID thing. They're gonna come out with a vaccine. Oh, we have the cure. We have the cure. We're curing people. It's things like that. Or they might I think it was a couple of months ago, 6 months ago, Bill Gates was talking about this whole meat substitute that they were creating. It's funny how you don't hear about that anymore, but they're creating that in labs, right? And there's going to be another shortage of food. So they're going to oh, we have the substitute, we have the cure, or we're here for the rescue. We have this meat substitute that I've been working on since the last quarantine, right? Everyone's been, oh my gosh, the saviors, right? And it even says, make a fire come down from heaven. So they have weapons that they can do that, and fires come down from heaven. It's like missiles. That's one thing. And I believe they do have another weapon where it's like a cannon from the sun. I don't know if that's actually true. I just heard about that. Don't quote me on it. But they do have weapons that they can fire. Just, you want to talk about the missiles, come from the heaven. But I do believe they do have a weapon where they control the power, or they harness the energy of the sun into a beam, right? So they have these weapons, right? Right. Fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth. See, deceiveth. So they're deceiving people that live on the planet Earth by the means of those miracles. So all those miracles they're doing it's just deception. Right? So let's go into a word. Deceive. It's all deception, all sleight of hand, all misdirection. Where they pass it? Okay, there it is. Put the volume up.
Strong's G 4105. Planao.
Planao. At least that's how he pronounces it. To cause to stray, to lead astray, lead aside from the right way, to go astray, wander, roam about, to lead away from the truth, to lead into error, to deceive, to be led into error, to be led aside from the path of virtue, to go astray, sin. Just if you, wow, right? And then what I want to do also, etymology. See with deceive, etymology, mislead by false appearance or statement. 13th century from old, décevoir, to deceive, to ensnare, to trap, to take in, beguile, cheat, from a or pejorative combining, to take. All right, deceiver, deceiving, be false to, be dishonest with, cause someone to believe an untruth. Right. So you go back. You're at, okay, 14. And deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast. Right. So everything they're going to do that's going to be like a wonder, a miracle, it's just to deceive you. It's to trick you because of their agenda. Right. It's all deception, to trap you, to make you go off, to make you sin. Saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword and did live. And he had the power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So worshiping the image of the beast could be even taking the vaccine. Taking the vaccine is worshiping the image of the beast. Because that's one of the wonders that the beast system is, putting out. These injections, I should say. Because, they're taking down videos. But that's part of the beast. So if you're saying you're worshiping, taking the vaccine, because, if you follow the scriptures, you're not supposed to take vaccines. You're not supposed to do any of that. Right? You're worshiping that beast system because you believe that that's what's going to help you. That's your power. And this is what your power tells you to do. So you're going to do it. So that's worshiping them. Right? Another is wearing the mask, not worshiping the beast. Like, if you have to wear the mask, you have to wear the mask because you got to be smart about that. Right? If you have to wear the mask to go into a store, you wear the mask to go into the store. If you want to be the guy that's going to be like, I'm not wearing a mask because this is, programming people to, to be subjected to the government. It's just like, yeah, okay, man, sure, you might be right. Maybe you're probably right. Most likely you are right. But that's not going to help you because now you can't go inside the store and get your food just because you don't want to put a mask on. You already know that what you're saying is true. So that's all you need, right? If you want to talk about it and tell people about it, go right ahead. But saying that, I'm not wearing the mask because that's worshiping the beast is like, yeah, you're right. It is in a sense, but just don't worry when you don't have to wear it. It's really that simple. You got to use discernment. But the ultimate worshiping of the image of the beast is taking the chip. Because once you do that, you're saying you're part of the beast system and that's it. You're a slave. Right? And they're already talking about putting the chips in the people. It's crazy. And I'm going to put a video on, which I was even shocked, but not also at the same time. Right? Because they're doing it here. They're doing it everywhere around the world. Right? But taking the vaccine, if you're taking the vaccine, you're most likely going to take the chip. Because these anti-maskers are basically saying they're conditioning you to be subjected onto them, right? Because anti-maskers are not wrong. It's just that all that rioting and protesting is not going to do anything, right? This is the government. They do what they want. It doesn't matter if you protest and you show up at people's houses and you're protesting government officials, even though this is scripture that these things need to happen. But I'm just saying that it's not going to do anything, right? If anything, you're pushing the prophecies even faster because now they're going to put lockdowns and they're going to have martial law. They're going to have people on the streets because these anti-maskers are going to start to get violent and all that stuff. But Yeah, if you take that vaccine, you're more likely going to take the chip because like you're already conditioned to go sign up in the line. Okay, I'm gonna stand here. Okay, they're giving the chip, and they're gonna tell you all the convenience of taking the chip. You know, the RFID chip, which over here they're calling it digital identity, right? All the benefits. You know, your kids don't get lost. You know, you have your credit card. You have all your information on here. You can go through stores and just pay very quickly. You don't have to use cash. It's very efficient. It's very convenient, right? If you get stopped over by a cop, you just pull out your wrist. He just scans it. All your information's there. You can't lose your cards now. Can't lose your birth certificate. It's all there, right? They're gonna make it sound so convenient, right? Just because it's convenient doesn't mean it's good. But right, we're gonna start back up again. Start at 14 again. And deceived them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword and did live. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Right? Here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 603 which equals 666. And if you look at the barcodes for those RFID chips, it's actually 666. Right? So, I mean, you can't really deny that. So I'm just going to put a video. I fast forwarded to the part where they start talking about it.
Focused government is that plan.
Actually, let's see if I can put the caption on this, because I know the volume's not loud. Captions.
Building on what we've learned from the pandemic, this action plan includes more than 30 initial projects that will bring major change to government, both in what it does and how it does it. One of our signature projects in the action plan is a digital identity that can allow you to safely hold and use the personal information that's found on physical government IDs online, including driver's licenses, health cards, and birth certificates. Citizens will eventually be able to do more transactions and access more services online.
Make more transactions. So transaction, if you don't know what word transaction means, transaction. The adjustment of a dispute, a negotiated agreement, management or settlement of an affair, exchange, transaction, an agreement, accomplishment, perform, drive, or carry through, come to a settlement, right? Drive, to drive, draw out, forth, meaning a piece of business is attested from 1640s. Right, so the adjustment of a dispute, a negotiated agreement. So a negotiated agreement is between two people, right? You know, you have something I want, I have something you want. I have money, you have a good that I want, right? We're negotiating on the price, right? This is the price. Okay, I'm gonna make I'm gonna basically agree to this, and we're gonna make an exchange, right? So it says exchange, right? Management or settlement of affairs. So now we settled this affair that we had. Everything's good. Right? Yeah, the act of transacting within or between groups. Let's see what this says. Transaction. Accomplish. To drive through, accomplish, bring to an end, settle. Right? That's what you're doing. You're settling an agreement. Set in motion, drive forward. Transact, conduct business, right? So this is a business agreement. You have money, I have money. And you can go into the word business. Care, anxiety, occupation, careful, anxious, busy, occupied, diligent. In terms of person's work occupation. Yeah, people's work occupation at grocery stores is to sell their goods, right? So they have to make a transaction to do that with someone who has money. Right here. Business, the activity of providing goods and services involving financial, commercial, and industrial aspects. Right? So, this is what he's talking about right now. He's saying you'd be able to make transactions. Right now, it's just, it's kind of a government program. Eventually, they're going to roll it out and say you have to do it.
And businesses can be partners and accelerate it easier and more convenient.
See the word convenient? Easier and more convenient. It's all about convenience. Everything easy. This is a lazy society.
For people. Starting in January, the government will consult with industry on how the province could introduce a secure digital identity for Ontarians by the end of 2021.
Wow.
Including the strong privacy protections that will make sure you only share what is needed when it's needed. Now, you will need to keep a driver's license or healthcare card in your real wallet, at least for a little while. But we will start introducing new ways to use your identification online beginning next year. With a digital wallet, your identity is in your hands, on your device, and under your full control.
Now, you see, he said in your hands, on your device. So right now, it's funny how he uses the wordplay, on your device. An RFID chip is still a device, right? It's still a device. Now, at first, they might make it where you can put on your phone. They might have that option, possibly, where you can put on your phone, but then they're going to have the option where you can put it in your wrist, right? Because then you would say, well, what happens if you lose your phone, right? It's also possible to lose your phone. What happens if you do that? Okay, well, we have this option. You know, you can put it in your wrist. You put this RFID chip. Boom, 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 right? You can't lose your hand. Just touch your arm. Unless someone chops your hand off, or your wrist off, sorry. And that's the way you're going to lose it, right? I can already see what they're doing here.
Let me give you a few examples of what might be possible. Let's imagine a small business owner needs to register their new business within the province. With a digital identity, the owner or authorized representative of one of the thousands of new businesses started every year in Ontario could skip one or many trips to an Ontario government office and use their digital ID to register their business online. A student could skip a trip to the bank to open their first account by verifying their identity online. And a senior could check into a doctor's appointment remotely from the parking lot or lobby, maintaining physical distancing and by avoiding the lineup in the waiting room. And here's another example. Each year, approximately 50,000 farm vehicle renewals are processed and can't currently be completed online. With a digital identity, an Ontario farmer could choose to renew their farming vehicles online instead of visiting a Service Ontario location in person. So these are just some possible ways that with a verified digital identity will make interactions with government for people and businesses simpler. With our action plan, we're transforming government, moving Ontario onwards, and putting the people at the center of everything we do. Thank you.
Putting the people at the center of everything you do. But yeah, because you want everything around them because you're trying to control them. Right? Yeah, there's nothing more on that. That's, he pretty much, yeah. And I will say that the government's all about gradualism, right? They do things slowly. They get you conditioned slowly, which is why these anti-maskers are out there protesting because, at least they're aware of it. Protest is not the right way to go about it, but they're aware of it, right? They do everything slowly. First is the mask, then it's the vaccine, then now it's the RFID, these digital identities. And digital identities, they might not bring the RFID chip just right now. They're talking about it. They might have it where you can put on your phone, this digital identity, right? Then eventually, but they're going to probably have the option for RFID chips, You know, because people that are like, well, what if I lose my phone, right? It's like, oh, well, we have this chip. Then slowly, then they'll be like, well, we're actually not taking the phones anymore, where it has to be on your chip because it's just safer, right? And they might say phones can be hacked. It might say something like that, right? Phones can be hacked. Someone can take your phone and use their identity, right? Or basically, like, say, if you're going into a club, right? Because you're going to have kids that are going to be doing that. And, you know, he has this card on his phone, right? Which is probably his friend, maybe it's his friend's, whatever, his friend's ID, but he has it on his phone. He gives his friend the phone. Now he goes into the club, boom, 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 right? Might be underage. Now your ID is on your wrist. It's your ID. You can't change that. You can't manipulate it. That's what they're going to say. You can't manipulate it. You can't do anything like that. This is your ID. So if you're this age, you can't take someone's card and give it to someone else and be like, okay, yeah, you take my card, you go in, right? Now you can't do that because all your identification's on your wrist. So whatever it is that you have there is what it is, right? So that's another way they're going to try and spin it. But yeah, you can see what's happening. That was it on that. I didn't want to talk more on this. Just want to show that, you know, it's happening here in Canada too. It's not just America, or I should say it's not just North America or the States, I should say. It's happening in Canada too. So it's all around the world. So you just got to stay awake, keep studying, keep praying that we get out of here, which is, we're almost there because you can see what's happening. But I hope this lesson was edifying. And I would close off by saying, Ka Halal Yahweh, Ba Hashem Yahweh Shai, Ba Hashem Rakah Kadash, double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and to the hopeful elect pushing his word in truth and sincerity across the four corners of the earth, death and destruction to his wicked kingdom, and the truth as well. Kwam Yasharala, Abal Dabal, Shalom.